Horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern, of course, 1-0 from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. They are Summit, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, Delete and Davis. The two holders, Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, the back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with of course 1-0 from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. They are Summit, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, Delete and Davis. The two holders, Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, the back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern, of course, 1-0 up from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. They are Summit, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, Delete and Davis. The two holders, Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, and a back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern, of course, 1-0 up from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. They are Summit, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, Delete and Davis. The two holders, Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, and a back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern, of course, 1-0 up from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. They are Summit, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, Delete and Davis. The two holders, Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, and a back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern of course 1-0 up from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And so they are Sommer, and then a back four of Stanisic, Upamecano, De Ligt and Davis. The two holders Goretzka and Kimmich, with Coman, Muller and Musiala supporting Choupo-Moting. For Paris Saint-Germain, they have two changes from the team who beat Nantes 4-2 at the weekend, with Zaire Emery and Mukiele replaced by Verratti and Hakimi. So they are Donnarumma in goal, and a back three, Marquinhos, Ramos and Danilo. And then it's Mendes, Ruiz, Verratti, Vitinha and Hakimi in midfield, with of course up top Mbappe and Messi. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain lock horns for the second time in this round of 16 in the Champions League, with Bayern of course 1-0 up from the first leg. And they are unchanged from the weekend's team. They beat Stuttgart 2-1 away from home at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Right, and they're off. And well, if you're listening to us and you're in some kind of blizzard, then so are we. And the good news is, though, in Germany, seems to be that the weather conditions are a little bit better, and we don't expect this game to be called off. They're going to be all right. We might not get home, but who cares about that? I'm John. I'm going to join by James Mason. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than this, really. You've got two teams who are top of the pile in their respective divisions, expensively assembled, big names. Something's got to give, and obviously Bayern have a 1-0 lead from the first leg in Paris. So surely Bayern Munich could be big favourites here.
Yeah, and I think out of the two, I don't think there's much to separate them, but I do think Bayern have just got that a little bit more solidity. I think maybe a bit more defensively sound than PSG are. We've seen in previous seasons and in this campaign as well that PSG can be got at. You know, they're all about that. Well, what's the front two this evening with Mbappe and Messi? It's usually front three, but Neymar, he's out for the rest of the season.
He is. So, yeah, just the two lads to pass to now for everybody else. And I was thinking, when I look at PSG, I just think, well, it's kind of a team that's all stacked up top, and when you get the ball you pass to one of the big guns and let it happen. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how they're stacked, but I just think maybe Bayern Munich are a better team throughout midfield and then at the back as well, albeit I know that Ramos and Marquinhos are big names and all that, but anyway, they don't seem to have much in midfield. But will they need it? Here's Mbappe driving forward now into the box. He goes. And he gets a shot in there. He was being closed down by Goretzka, but Mbappe, of course, has got special skills, and he's still got a shot away on target.
He has, but that is so greedy from Mbappe. He's only got one thing. When he gets that ball, it's head down and it's driving to the box, where if he looks up and he takes the ball ahead of him in a stride, he's got Hakimi free at the far post. All he's got to do is play the ball back across the box, and there's Hakimi at the far post to slot it in.
So maybe that's a wake-up call for the Reds then, who don't get beaten too often, do they? But you know what, like we said, they've got special players out there. Just for the moment then, it is a little bit of forward play. Is Kingsley Coman just touching the ball back. He, of course, ex-PSG, born in Paris, of course. But anyway, he'll be delighted, I'm sure, if Bayern Munich get through this. So now a little break down the left-hand side, and the cross comes in deep, and Bayern Munich on the attack, but that was behind everybody. And then eventually the ball is picked up by Stanisic, the Croatian. Cross chipped in over the head of Choupo-Moting, but now can they fashion something with Musiala trying to thread the eye needle at the edge of the box. He can't quite make his little drop of the shoulder stick. He's a great player, isn't he? But just held up there by Fabian Ruiz. The flags are out for Bayern Munich, but it didn't quite work there.
No, it didn't quite work, but it wasn't far away from work, and it was just didn't quite fall from in the box. But I mean, both teams have looked lively going forward at the start of this game. I mean, I'd be hugely surprised if there's not a lot of goals in this encounter. Obviously, PSG have got to come out a bit, and Bayern, they have a lot of goals in their team, but it's a big match as well for. I think for both coaches, because like you said before, that they're both riding high at the top of their divisions. I think it's more of a bigger match for Christophe Galtier than it is for Julian Nagelsmann. The fact that PSG, they've made it clear they want the Champions League title.
Yeah, they do. They want to buy it, but I don't think it's as easy as that. Anyway, Coman there, I thought he got attacked. I thought there was a shocking challenge coming in from the Nuno Mendes, but anyway, I think our referee, Daniel Osato, probably felt the same. He went over the top of the ball there. He's lucky not to get yellow.
It's lucky it's not got that much force behind it, because he goes over the top of the ball and catches the inside of the ankle, and then where I went sort of oof if it was heard, it was because the left foot then came across and caught the inside of the leg as well, so it was a clumsy challenge. Yeah,
he's going for the big double there. Had it been Bruno Fernandes, of course Kingsley Coman would have been screaming in agony, rolling around, and probably would have got him a yellow card, wouldn't he? So anyway, should we not mention that, or are we allowed to mention that? I don't know.
You can mention whatever you want, John.
All bets are off, aren't they? If Gary Lineker can say what he likes, then so too can I. And well said, Gary, anyway, I think. 5 minutes gone. It's Bayern 0, PSG 0. There's a little ball tickled on. Down right-hand side doesn't work out. Now some defending to do. As Verratti gets it. And then our first spot of Lionel Messi. Wants to take it into the box, but Upamecano robs him of the ball. It's a good challenge, that. And then we see Marco Verratti just following up, making sure they haven't got an easy clearance. But nothing much comes of that, and the ball goes out. It's just going to be a throw for Bayern Munich. Deep in their own territory, back to Upamecano, and now he just gets the ball back from Stanisic, and then clears it long. I'm dead interested to see Thomas Muller play today. I think he steals a living, this fella. I like watching him sometimes. I think, well, he's that ghost 9. You don't see him, and then he drifts in, and nobody marks him, and he scores a goal. But a lot of times I watch him, and I think, what on earth does this fella do,
I think in recent seasons, I think that's maybe fair to say, but I think obviously he's getting on a bit, and he was in and out of the team as well a little bit, and then he was brought back by the former Bayern boss, and he's kept his position now. But in previous seasons, campaigns, I think he did more than people thought. He maybe to the eye looks if he didn't do much, but I think his stats returns were good, goals, assists, that kind of thing. Now, though, I think it's maybe being sort of picked at a little bit more due to the fact of the strength of sort of the squad that Bayern have got as well. People that want to play in his position, he's been challenged now, so he's been sort of scrutinised a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, he's 33 years young now. Shouldn't stop anybody. 121 caps for Germany. Must be doing something right. 44 goals is not a bad return, and over 400 games for Bayern Munich, 140 odd goals. Not bad, really. Don't know why I'm picking on him. Leave him alone. Right. Anyway, Verratti takes a free kick for PSG. I've had one foray forward, or one meaningful one with Mbappe's shot when maybe Achraf Hakimi should have been the ball. Just looking at Hakimi now. Nobody running with him. He might be the Springer tonight. Just pointing at him, but the ball's nowhere near him. As they trundle up down the left-hand side with Nuno Mendes, who takes a long throw, and he's looking to find Mbappe, who gets round his man and then realises he's going to run out of room, and then does a rather scandalous little fall over. Referee's not buying that, and his little dive. Shocking, that really.
That should be yellow. Should be a yellow for diving over like that. I mean, he gets to his feet quickly, and some will say, well, he got to his feet, he didn't mean it. Well, he did mean it. He went over. He tried to get his player probably booked and get the free kick there, but it's poor. But you mentioned Hakimi there. I mean, he alluded to that at the start when Mbappe didn't find him when he was free at the far post, but he's got Musiala down that side. He's not going to do much defending, is he?
No, Musiala's not defending now as he breaks forward, but again, it's weight and numbers. As I think Verratti got back there and was just able to make contact with him. In fact, scratched out, it was Fabian Ruiz who did the hard yards there. they've got so many of these guys, you know. And I say, well, you know, it's not a great midfield, but there's a lot of honest endeavour in there, a lot of toil, you know. And if they're prepared to chase back into their own box, it makes them hard to break down. Anyway, a little break down the right-hand side now was. Well, the number 11, Kingsley Coleman, is trying to make ground but runs into Nuno Mendes, and the ball scraped off the red-shirted player. As we saw Goretzka, a little step over there, maybe a foul on Ramos.
Not sure. If it was the other way around, I don't think we'd be thinking it was it was a foul. But yeah, I have to say, Nuno Mendes, he looks like a yellow card waiting this evening, because even though he got a little poke on the ball there when it went out for a throw, it was a sliding challenge backwards. He got done a little bit, and yeah, I don't think it's long until he probably goes in the book.
Danilo finds Hakimi, but he's forced to go back to his keeper. First real touch for Gianluigi Donnarumma, who gets the ball out of his feet, finds Ramos. Bags of experience, bags of trophies. I wonder what his trophy cabinet looks like. It'd be a big one, wouldn't it?
It's got to have a room. It's like a walk-in closet, a walk-in trophy closet.
Yeah. Why would you go in there, though, really? I don't know. That's why some have the awards in the toilet. At least somebody downstairs toilet, don't they? At least somebody's going to see it. Do you want to go into my room with all? No thanks, Sergio. I'm fine, really. But I bet it'd be good. Anyway, now with Sommer, he's having to play out from the back, and he does that quite well, and finds Kimmich, and then there's a long chip ball from Alphonso Davies, but that's to no in particular. Actually, 10 minutes, they won't live too long in memory. For two such good teams, it's been quite scrappy, really, James.
Yeah, I mean, I thought at the start, how it began, is the sort of opening sort of 2, 3, 4 minutes, I thought was really good, was positive. PSG with the sort of the early break, and then Bayern had a good little move in response, but yeah, apart from that, neither side's really getting sort of control of the ball. They're not really dominating the game. It smacks of a second leg. That's, you know, on a knife edge with just one goal separating them.
Verratti takes the ball tight circumstance, then he finds a good ball to Mbappe, gets it out of his feet. That's great control from him. Here is Lionel Messi now driving forward, and here is Hakimi now in space right hand side, puts a good ball across. Don't know what he's trying to do there. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? Sommer nearly comes out to deal with it and just decides to let it go. I've seen worse.
Seen better. I think he's trying to wrap his foot around it and sort of curl it away from the keeper, isn't he? Sort of go across the 6-yard box, but like you said, it turns into the horrible cross shot and just the in-between and easily behind for a goal kick. Yeah,
I mean, it's not a million miles away from the goal frame there, as that's a poor kick out from Jan Sommer. Vittini tries to make it his ball, but it's the Reds who come away with it again, and in the midfield, a strong challenge there. Hakimi coming into the middle of the park, but then the ball's given away, and a lovely little spin and turn from Coman, but here Mendes is strong, but it's a really good battle out there. Coman won't let him get away from him, but eventually he's helped out by Fabian Ruiz, and they make ground down the left-hand side. And that was a good little bit of play there, and you can see the qualities of both the two men. Coman thought he was going to burn him for pace, but he didn't. You know, Mendes did really well there. He was strong, and then Coman fought back, but then will break up, because here comes Musiala just at the edge of the area. Choupo-Moting takes a while to get the ball out of his feet, rather telegraphed then, and he runs into Verratti, and that's when those mass strengths of that midfield all clumped together, do a really good job of protecting the PSG back three and goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, give credit there. I mean, it's still amazing me to see Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting is leading the line for Bayern Munich, but I'll tell you what, his goal return's pretty good for them, and he must be doing something to keep his place there, because, you know, they could put Sadio Mane through the middle, couldn't they? Coman through the middle, Muller. You know, they've got other options, but they've gone with, you'd feel more of a physical presence up there.
It just goes to show that at any given time playing for Stoke isn't that easy. Anyway. Yeah, they didn't make him look like a world beater, but that was a team that was going in, heading in a certain direction, hard to shine. Anyway, ball displayed back now to Donnarumma. Second time really he's had it at his feet. Finds Ramos, happy to play a little bit of football, and yeah, just dabs it to Marquinhos. Again, a long raking ball from him. It looks good off his foot, and keeper comes out. Sommer drops it at the feet of Mbappe, and he chips it into the empty net. But there was a foul. I tell you what, Osata gives that, but there's not much in that.
Mbappe doesn't make too much of a fuss, which makes you think he probably did foul him, and he gets a pat on the back from our referee. But what do you think about that, James?
Yeah, I think it probably just is. I think Sommer gets there, and then it's just the momentum of Mbappe sort of takes him into Sommer. He does put the arms out as well into Sommer to try and sort of brace himself. So there's probably enough to have sent the goalkeeper down. I think the keeper probably could have just clutched onto the ball and fell to the floor, but he wanted to make the referee aware of what happened.
Well, there'd be plenty of referees who'd say, look, just, it is contact, and you should have held on to it a little bit better. I think Christophe Gaultier, the Parisians coach there, just what on earth was that given for? But then you think the giveaway really is that Mbappe thought, I kind of fouled him, didn't I? Anyway, Ramos now, a little ball forward. Marquinhos, then Vitinha. They've seen plenty of the ball, PSG. Just struggling to find those two magic men. And so far, Messi's had a couple of touches. He's looking for the ball now. And he won't get it there. They put it into a gap, but Alphonso Davies comes running out with the ball, and he will win it back. Just read the play well. I think there Messi wanted it to his feet. He's walking around, looking around. Messi saying, well, come on. I'm here. Anyway, just for the moment, Musiala on the ball. He drives forward. Ball out to Alphonso Davies, who making a little prod forward. Sliding challenge. Verratti wins the day. And they come up with the ball. Hakimi. And a little step inside. But then a heel. I don't think there was a foul there. And that's good refereeing. Danilo went down. I think he tripped over the ball. Alphonso Davies, a ball across now. And, well, in the end, Muller keeps it alive. It's not a great ball out to the right. Stanisic. And then Coleman. And then back on his inside, Josh Kimmich chips the ball into the area. But it's not a good one. Vitinha mops up. Now Marquinhos plays out. And with Lionel Messi, just a little flick to Nuno Mendes. Percentage ball up the field, no better than that. Delete comes and deals with it. Again, I'm not surprised, but it's just a little bit cagey, this opening, isn't it?
It is. Obviously, it's the old saying, isn't it? But the first goal will be crucial, really, won't it? Bayern get it. They're 2-0 up on aggregate. It really forces PSG out. PSG get the goal 1-1 on aggregate, and then it will probably become even more of a nervous affair. But yeah, it's like they're still kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah, they are. As we see a shot come from range, and it wasn't a bad hit. And in the end, Donnarumma is quickly down on that. And that was Goretzka, I think, showing us the number 8 then. He really caught hold of that, but keeper's right behind it.
Yeah, it's a little kind of slight fumble, wasn't it, from the keeper? But it was a low, skiddy one, maybe just sort of nicked off the surface, and he watched it well in the end. But it's something, isn't it, to go on? It's a half kind of opportunity.
Long ball forward again. Hakimi got goal side of his man, but the ball had a bit too much mustard on it. Elsewhere, and by the way, of course, the round 16 is Spurs taking on Milan tonight. They are 0-0 and also 10 minutes late, but they have kicked off now. Anyway, we're 17 minutes in. It's still 1-0 on aggregate to the home side, who had that victory in Paris. But like you said, away goals count for nothing nowadays, so it's just 1-0. And if PSG can hit back, then it'll be one apiece, and that's fine. Anyhow, little challenge then on Mbappe was strong. Referee, he's right there though. Didn't deem it to be too bad. Danilo finds Hakimi. Hakimi now is making ground right hand side, and eventually flicks it off the shin of Alphonso Davies, and he's won his side of corner. Hakimi's looking good tonight.
Yeah, looks really good. He had a fantastic World Cup, didn't he? But he's always been a good player. The past sort of 2-3 seasons, he's been, up at that level. But good give and go, good pace. Give credit to. He's got a hard evening as Hakimi in terms of attacking, because if he gets past Delite, who's coming across, then he's got Alphonso Davies there.
Take from the right hand side, left-footed in. Can he get it right to the far post? And keeper comes out. Jan Sommer, the Swiss, is Scotland tonight in the Scottish Premiership, and Well, both Hibs and Hearts are holding Celtic and Rangers at the minute. Bayern Munich with Musiala down the left-hand side, just over the halfway line. Alphonso Davies as well, but he's forced then to go back. We haven't seen much. But then Vitinha takes the ball off him. A hunting packs got the PSG as Messi now picks it up. It's a path of Mbappe. He's taking it to the byline and he's trying to cut it back, but he's right to boot, won't quite hook round the ball. I just thought for a second he's turning a bad ball into maybe a chance for a strike. I thought Messi had run into a good challenge, but the ball just put kindly for PSG. It didn't really work out after that, though.
Yeah, didn't, unfortunately, for PSG. Just didn't quite break for them. But yeah, Messi just, I mean, the first bit of skill was superb from Messi when he sort of jumped over the challenge, scooped the ball over the slide. But then the second touch was heavy, allowed Delit to get in. But yeah, just not quite sort of falling at the moment. But pace from Mbappe is extraordinary there, because I thought, oh, Sommer will just come off the line quickly there and smother that.
He didn't.
It was straight onto it, Mbappe.
Yeah, he didn't come out there. He, I think, probably quite rightly so. It's one of those you think, oh, I could probably get there, and then you're left clutching at thin air. Anyway, Vitinha now in midfield, trying to tidy up, runs around. Musiala finds Mendes, looking for the give and go, and the ball goes backwards, then to Ramos, and then to Danilo Pereira, and again Hakimi just over the halfway line. And keeping hold of the ball pretty well. A little drop of the shoulder from Verratti. Then Danilo again. Again, Bayern quite organised. They're all back inside their own half, the red shirts. Die Roten, as they call them in Germany. They've got loads of nicknames, haven't they? But anyway, Bayern now on the attack with Muller. Looking for Choupo-Moting. That's a good... it would have been. I mean, he's got a real opportunity. If he can bring that ball in, there's a little man on his shoulder there. Maybe not so little Musiala in his wing, but his first touch was almost as if it was a time capsule back to Stoke City back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, he's tried to do things too quickly there. He spots, he knows Musiala's on his left shoulder, so he's actually, when the ball's coming towards him, he spotted him, so he's trying to turn at the same time the ball's coming towards him and control it, but he just gets it caught in between the feet, and it ends up looking absolutely atrocious. But it's only just one good touch away there from pretty much Bayern being in behind.
Yeah, it's a bit like if he was a good player, he'd be a good player. But he didn't show it there. Little flick ball there from Messi into the box. They go, and in the end, although it's a good run from Fabian Ruiz, he just couldn't quite bring it in. You need a little bit of luck there, don't you? Choupo-Moting giving a ball he can't really cope with there, just spits up off his head. But then there's Sergio Ramos on the ball. I would swear that PSG have one more player out there today than Bayern Munich. I think they've made a good start, but at 0-0, it counts for nothing.
No, it doesn't. You've got to create some clear-cut chances, which they haven't really done as of yet. I mean, at least they've tested Jan Sommer, but it was an easier save for him in the end. But yeah, they seem to be at the minute, the last sort of 10 or so minutes, they seem to be winning the midfield battle a bit more. You mentioned, they're hunting packs. Verratti, Ruiz, and Vitinha doing a good job of just winning the scraps and getting PSG going. They're not allowing Bayern to easily play the ball out from a goal kick or from the back. They're pressing up high, and Bayern at the moment, when they go long, it's not sticking with Choupo-Moting, so it's continually coming back at them.
Yeah, we just see Messi body check there by Goretzka. I didn't see that he had to get out of the way. Messi didn't make his little move stick. He, if you're running into a shoulder or a hip, you can't, you're going to feel it. And he did there. They reckon that if you run into Messi, he's like running into a brick wall, because he might be small, but he's absolutely solid, But he definitely came off second best. Musiala tries to get the turn done on Danilo. But he fouled him in the process. Anyway, we are halfway through the first half. You're listening to Independent Off-Tube Studio commentary. And it's still goalless, and it's still not a great game. But anyway, to take us forward, and I'm sure bring us goals, here's James Mason.
Well, there's fingers crossed that we'll at least get some chances to talk about, because it's been, like I said a few times, scrappy in this opening half so far. PSG not asserting themselves on the game as of yet, but seeing a bit more of the ball, trying to get Messi involved more, trying to get the ball out to Mbappe when they can. But as things stand, a 0-0 is good enough for Bayern to go through. I was looking at the benches before the game as well, and you know, if either manager had to delve into the substitutes that they have in, tell you what, Bayern have got a lot more on their bench than PSG do. You've got the likes of Sane, Cancelo, Gnabry. I mean, just some of the names on there. Daley Blind is one, Mazraoui another. You know, they're stacked in quite a lot of departments. Where for PSG, there's not a great deal on there when you look at it. They've got Ugo Ekitike, the young striker, but he's not really yet done it for PSG. Come back to that in a moment, though. It's the Parisien coming forward. A little ball scooped out to the left-hand side, corner of the box. Now it's put back in by Mendes. Decent-looking ball, stooping header away from De Ligt, but then, well, it comes back to Mendes. His volley pass is intercepted, and Bayern clear their lines over halfway. But yeah, I think if you were looking for, you know, players to bring on to make a difference, I'd be
well, what about this
more
fella?
happy with Bayern.
What about Ibrahimovic?
What? Not Zlatan.
No, he's no relation, by the way. Anyway, we'll break off as here's Messi into the box. Maybe an opportunity, keeps his feet. It's wriggling around in the box. He's still getting shots away. Sommer makes 3 saves in that move. he looks up Lionel Messi thinking, oh, come on, the ball just didn't break for him there. But that was like a lightning attack. Anyway, I think Jan Sommer did pretty well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Julian Nagelsmann looks perplexed on the sidelines to how they got in, but Bayern now are coming forward, ball in from the right-hand side. That's a really good blocked interception by Ramos, and PSG have the ball back, and now they try and work it down that far side of the pitch. Now a crossfield ball, but that's an absolute shocker. That's going to bounce out, and it will be a Bayern throw now inside PSG's half, but we'll see this chance again for PSG. Tell you what, Alphonso Davies with a superb sliding challenge on Messi to block it when that initial shot from the Argentine came in.
I count that there's 2 blocks there, one from Davies, which is best, then one from De Ligt, and then one from the goalkeeper. So that's all you need to do to keep Lionel Messi out. But and again, he's a little bit unlucky. The ball into him was a beauty, wasn't it? And yeah, that was good stuff from PSG. For my money, I think they know they've been handed. They've got good players. They've actually played quite well. But you know what? Here comes Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman down the right-hand side, at the edge of the area, puts a ball into the box. Wasn't quite good enough execution, not there, but seems to. Bayern struggling to get anything really in terms of a clear sight of goal, but yeah, I've said it before, I'll be surprised if there's not goals in this game.
No, it's Arion Ibrahimovic, who's actually a midfielder. He's 17, and he's no relation, absolutely no relation. Yeah, I missed the big guy. It's Zlatan. But anyway.
Gone then, still 0-0 in the second leg. Still Bayern then leading 1-0 on aggregate. Still the onus is on PSG to get themselves back on level terms as Verratti has possession, finds Ramos out to this near side then for Danilo. Now with Vitinha. Looks like a really sort of lively, buzzing midfielder in there. But then Ramos is still, sorry, not Ramos actually. We've seen it was Verratti taking a risk at the back there, but Bayern doing a little bit of pressing themselves. Just doesn't seem to be pressing all at once for Bayern when they're trying to close PSG down, where it seems like it is everyone at the same time when PSG are trying to close Bayern down.
Yeah, it's right. I think that this swarming midfield is one of the reasons why that they've had more possession in this game. 56%. They had more of it, but they've still both had one on target. Mbappe early, and then Goretzka. And we've just seen Lionel Messi have 3 efforts, all blocked. One by Davies, one by De Ligt, and one by Sommer in the goals. Why they're not counting that as on target, I don't know. I think that was one of them. But anyway, Yeah, PSG have played slightly better, but you know what? They're still a goal behind on aggregate.
Tell you what, Tyres Delete as well. Eric Dyer's double. Absolutely, Eric Dyer's double as well with Spurs playing this evening. But he just looks like
He doesn't play like him though, does he?
Doesn't he's? I would say Delete's a little bit better, but Bayern are working the ball out towards the right-hand side now, down that flank, looking to try and get past a couple of players as Coman, as he's doubled up on, just goes inside now towards Muller. Muller then back out to the right-hand side. Now he's maybe got a chance to go one-on-one against Mendes here. Looks to go down the line then, and Mendes is keeping pace with him at the moment. Coman then has to go back down that channel, and again Bayern will have to restart from the halfway line. But tell you what, I mean, Coman's got a turn of pace, but so does Mendes.
Yeah, he can't beat him for pace. You know, he's going to have to beat him by stealth, or let him creep up the pitch and then isolate himself on either of Ramos or Marquinhos, because he's not going to beat him like that. You know, I've been impressed with Nuno Mendes, all right, but like you say, he's very combative, so he's going to get cards, and he dives in a little bit. But yeah, he's very quick.
Indeed, there's a chance for a long ball forward, and it's found now. Actually, Musiala then tries to swing it out to the left. Oh, dearie me. Well, that was a great opportunity because Bayern were forward in numbers there. I mean, Musiala, he's drifted over from the left, over to just right of centre. Lovely position he's taken up because no one's tracking him. And they've just tried to play it far too quickly, but that was not a hard ball to play.
No, it's not. I mean, the thing about that, James, is how far away it was from being a good ball. You know, when we saw Choupo-Moting do his little thing and scrape the ball into, you know, Musiala's path and get it wrong, it's by degrees. But that you just chipped it out in the full. You're thinking, well, what's in your head there? You know, I think we'd all have had a good go at that pass. But here is Musiala trying to make up for that.
Yeah, left side of the box finds Choupo-Moting now. He's waiting for a bit of support. He's the target man who's outside of the area. Bayern now work it back a little bit, around 30 yards out towards the right-hand side. Kimmich plays the ball now towards Coman. Coman onto his left foot, goes back inside then towards the German midfielder, tries to find a pass to Davies, and that one's been intercepted. And is there a... I think come from an offside position there. Oh, has it hit the referee?
I think it must have just skimmed off him because it didn't seem obvious that it hit him, but he's dropped the ball back to Bayern, and off they go again, but it didn't look obvious, that.
I mean, that's lucky for Kimmich because it was a terrible pass he played. As Musiala now again just wiggles his way out towards this near side, where Verratti again was right on him, not giving him any kind of space or time on the ball at the moment. Now with Delete just over halfway. Bavarians coming forward now, but it's just a wall of white shirts in front of them at the moment. But Bayern are just stroking the ball around a little bit now, being patient in their play as Muller then plays him out towards this near side. Davies brings it down. Davies then up against his marker Hakimi. Little pass into the box. Then Musiala on the turn. Oh, left-footed shot. It's a brilliant save low down there by Donnarumma. Tell you what, Musiala, that was so quick from him. The turn in the box when the ball gets to him was superb.
Yeah, lightning that. I mean, it's a terrific save from Donnarumma as well. You know, just a little drag turn. And he gets his shot away. I mean, I don't think Danilo's done anything wrong there. You know, he's strong, he's held his ground, but that's brilliant football all the way around, because I think, you know, plenty of times that shot would have gone in on most goalkeepers, but Donnarumma's done a brilliant job there. That's why, you know, he is lauded and why he's the international goalkeeper for Italy.
Yeah, what can they do from the corner though here? It's Kimmich had a whip it in, right-footed in, swinging delivery, and it's missed at the near post, but then a sort of a stooping, diving header away by Danilo. He's only a few yards off the ground when he headed away, but it was effective in the end as he cleared the ball. But Bayern, I was about to say Bayern have a throw which is taken quickly, which they have. Another ball came on the pitch at the same time, but the referee's allowed it to continue because it was kicked away quickly. Out towards the right-hand side now where Coman has it once more, though. Coman looks to go down the line, and for me, Coman has gone over there. I think this should be a yellow card for Coman, but I think the referee is giving a free kick to Bayern here. It's one of those, I think Mendes dives in, but I don't think he makes contact.
Well, let's take a look. He sticks a leg out. Coman's desperate to fall over that leg.
It's the arm for me. It's when the arm goes out and it's sort of...
Yeah, I think just about free kick, really. I can understand why that's been given. But, yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, well, you did say when... You know, he's a physical wing back in this game. You know, he's going to sort of dive in and be rash a little bit and maybe pick up a booking, which he got away with there. No, what on earth was that? it bounces, it skims towards the near post where Donnarumma just drops on.
Jose Mourinho went to Tottenham. I mean, Kimmich just doesn't look. He looks like Kimmich, but he's not playing like Kimmich. I know this. P rolls it straight to the goalkeeper. You think,
They post catch PSG out, but his teammates haven't. They're not on the same wavelength.
They've been scratchy tonight, haven't they? Yeah, that little half turn from Musiala. But if we're looking for a team who's asserting themselves and playing great football, well, it's not necessarily the home team. We saw a little bit ago. He's finding it difficult. You know, I think Goretzka's been detailed to give him a hard time, and he's contacted him a number of times. Now, Messi is not a lightweight, but like I said, they've got eyes on him. And other than that, we've seen one flash from Mbappe, and again, I think what they're trying to let him walk into any patch of area where you think, oh, he might get the ball. So he's quite heavily marked, and they find it difficult to find him. Player's gone down for PSG, and it does look like Marquinhos, feeling his ribs there, may not be able to continue.
Yeah, the skipper, he's going to have to come off. And I mean, straight away they had the replacement get stripped off from Brady, and it's going to be Nordi and Mukiele will be coming on. I presume it's just a straight swap in there. They may decide to change formation if they want, but I don't think they will for the time being. But it seemed to be out of nothing really, though. Didn't see Marquinhos involved in any kind of challenge. There was a sort of a hint from the replay there that when the free kick from Kimmich came in, I think Marquinhos might have slid and may have done something there.
Yeah, Mukiele actually played right wing back at the weekend, so quite where he fits in, I don't know. I mean, he might just go like for like. I don't know, but that's where he played the weekend.
Unless they go four at the back, unless they just have Ramos and Danilo in his two centre-backs, Mendes and Hakimi as the... I don't know, we'll have to see what they do here. It looks like he's just slotted in, but we'll wait and see, we'll piece it out, but yeah. Make of what you want at the moment of where you think he might be playing. We will have a look at it.
If you look at Wikipedia, it just says he's a defender. That doesn't help, does it?
He's got so looking here, he's gone right of the three centre backs. So Danilo's gone out to the left centre back.
Yeah. And the other thing, he's 6'2". So you know what? He's a big lad, and they can chuck him in centre back if they want one of the three. And it looks like they've done that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Ramos still the middle of those three. Danilo now on the left and Mukiele on the right. Is well, just that injury and a little stoppage in play has just sort of slowed things down ever so slightly, but PSG won it back in a good position with Ramos down the right hand side. Now they work the ball, it's into Hakimi. Hakimi then just scoops it back down the line to Vitinha. Vitinha looks up and just happy to pass it around at the moment, still working the little triangles. Now it's Hakimi again. Lovely give and go. Hakimi gets it back, ball into the area. I'll tell you what, that's really composed. It's just chested down by Goretzka, and then a horrible slashed clearance then by Delete, and it's out for a throw to PSG on this right.
Well, he's like Eric Dyer after all then. No, I mean, it was a lovely bit of play by Hakimi, wasn't it? And then he just pinged a nice ball in. Like you say, Goretzka there, just like diffusing a bomb, wasn't it? He's so cool and calm. Yeah, click the yellow wire, whatever. You know, and that's it. You know, dealt with, and then he's done all the hard work, and then Delete just spanners it out, straight out. Oh, goalkeeper making a mess of this. Vitinha now, he's going to roll it. Oh, it's cleared off the line by Delete. Wowee, do you just believe what we've just seen? That is incredible. How did PSG not score out of that?
I tell you what, as this ball comes in from the left of PSG, it's headed away, good strong header, but PSG still coming forward. Jan Sommer where he will breathe a huge sigh of relief. He will go and pat Delete on the back. I mean, Delete, from having a horrible slashed clearance to give away the throw, has redeemed himself by far with a lovely sliding clearance away on the line. But PSG are still in the ascendancy here, trying to put the ball in. That one's half cleared away by Coman, back towards the halfway line where PSG have it back. But yeah, Jan Sommer, for some reason, it was like someone got control of him on FIFA and thought, I'm going to run out with the goalkeeper here. And then suddenly there was 3 PSG players surrounding him, and how that's been cleared off the line and it's not in the back of the net. I mean, full credit to Delete.
Yeah, I thought he was off to Yabby Creek. He's on walkabout, isn't he? And you're thinking, well, yeah, I mean, when the ball's taken away from him, Vitinha just rolling it into the back of seemingly an empty net, and out of nowhere, I mean, and then the fist pump from Delete. He understands what he's just done. I can't blame Vitinha. I think, well, why couldn't he have hit the ball a bit harder? You know, but he's just passing it to back of seemingly an empty net, then out of nowhere. But I don't know what Jan Sommer's doing. Like I said, he went walkabout, and all of a sudden he realises that he's not going to, come away with the ball. But I don't know. And here he is with the ball at his feet again. But this time it's a better pass from him. But that was a great opening, and that was the best chance of the half.
It was indeed. And, well, PSG beat scratching their heads. Now they're not ahead, but it was the brilliant defending of Matthias Delete that's kept things at 0-0 on the night in the second leg. Yeah, Jan Sommer again at 0 at the break. I'm sure he'll be going straight over to his teammate and saying, thank you very much, or that's a more subtle way of that, what he probably will say to him. As a long ball upfield then is flicked up into the air. But again, I've been really disappointed by Bayern. I thought at the start of this game, I thought Bayern will win this. I thought it would be a high-scoring game, but I thought Bayern will win it. But they've not really started.
No, I think, it just seems that it's just, it's a bit belt and braces from the home. Driving for a real chance now.
Yeah, Davies in the penalty area now. Gets past his man towards the byline, tries to put a cross in, and that one's been deflected behind. And it'll be a corner kick. Frustrated there as Alphonso Davies, but it was a poor sort of pass out from PSG at the back. I think it was Ramos again. He's had a few of those this evening. Goretzka did well. Davies, maybe I think he tried to go back down the line, but maybe should have just gone for the shot early on.
Yeah, I think when he makes the first cut, it's like he opens up, but I think he's not that sort of player. He wants to abdicate responsibility, but sometimes you've got to put your boot through the ball. His first cut was good, and he should have traded on that, and he just chuck another one, and there you go.
Yeah, what can Kimmich do from this corner, though? Right-footed in, swinging delivery, then and the header. Oh, it hits against his own man there. Then the rebound on the edge of the D is horribly sort of clipped up into the air. Bayern still have it, but they're forced back into their own half now, all the way towards their goalkeeper Jan Sommer. But the initial header that came in there, it was Bayern that won it in the box. But to be honest, I don't think this is going to go on target, but it hits his own player anyway.
I think it might have been Goretzka with a header, but it was a lovely ball in from Kimmich. We said he's done nothing today, and then he hits a smashing ball, just drilled it, and then I thought Goretzka met it pretty well. I don't know who it came off, but I think they're a little bit lucky because it's one of those, he's attacking the ball with pace on the ball, and you just think the net's going to bulge, but somehow it was defended. It
was indeed. His Choupo-Moting just sits down his marker there, but Hakimi gets a footing in the end. But throw to Bayern just over the halfway line on this near left side. Just less than 3 minutes of normal time to go. We'll probably have a few minutes of added time as well, as PSG managed to scramble possession back on halfway. Then they give it away, but then so did PSG. Now a ball over the top looking for Mbappe. He's just a little bit overhit, and it's Sommer who just comes towards the edge of his box and drops onto that loose ball. But again, that's nearly for PSG. Yeah,
it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, you can throw a percentage ball, and he's going to turn some of that fodder into good ball for you. But a miss is as good as a mile. It wasn't quite right this time. Oh, here's Musiala again, driving into the box. Oh, and his shot, I think, eventually is deflected over the top. this time PSG guilty of giving the ball away at the edge of the area and nearly paid the price.
Yeah, there's Nordic Mukiele there with the good block in the end. He went with his man all the way, Musiala there, but a throw for Bayern now, and it's Muller trying to hold it up on the edge of the box. He does okay in the end now as Muller, well, tries to get it back then from Kimmich, doesn't quite work. The pass wasn't great, and now PSG trying to break. Oh, Messi, brilliant skill by the Argentine. Drives over halfway, but it's been tracked. That is a superb tackle by Goretzka. That is such good play by him. And now Bayern turning defence into attack, but that ball's overhit for Musiala. It's Mukiele that comes across and does well. And now the Parisien will try and bring the ball out from inside their own half, but Vitinha just runs the ball out of play. Throws to Bayern, but great covering from Goretzka.
Yeah, superb from him. Look how athletic he is. He's a big guy, and he gallops back. Delete was beaten all ends up by Messi's first touch there. He sprinted away from him. He's still pretty fleet of foot, but Goretzka just at ramming speed, had the momentum, caught up with him, and he's marked his card all night, Goretzka. You know, I think he's got half an eye on him. Although he's had his own stuff to do, you know, he's not man marking him, but he just got an eye on him, and that paid dividends for them there.
Indeed, as Bayern trying to finish this half strongly, but just as I say that, Musiala, when he tries to play a first-time ball around the corner, it pops up, hits his hand, and the free kick is given to PSG. Less than a minute of normal time to go. I mentioned before that the three players that are in danger of missing the next match if whichever team gets through. Well, Verratti and Ramos are both a yellow card away from being suspended for PSG, and it's Joshua Kimmich then for Bayern. Mazraoui on the bench for Bayern, he's on a yellow as well, as PSG try and play a ball from back to front pretty quickly. Doesn't quite work though, overhit, but Sommer's attempted clearance is poor, but it's a little bit unfortunate for PSG because Messi's header doesn't quite find his target, and now Bayern are coming forward themselves, and it's with Davies down this left-hand side. He's trying to get the pace to go past Hakimi, still coming forward then towards the byline, tries to cut back, but Hakimi reads that one really well. I think Davies is asking for a free kick, but nothing given there, just, you know, like I said, read the play, stronger in the challenge, and PSG will now try and pass the ball out from the back. Is there going to be one chance potentially before the end of this first half? 2 minutes of added time has gone up on the board, which we've around 10 seconds into now. I suppose at the break, PSG, Christophe Gaultier will be more pleased, I think, with his team. Just frustrated they haven't been able to score. But I suppose from Nagelsmann's perspective, he'll say, right, we can't be as bad as we have been in the first half. We're still 1-0 up in this tie, so again, it's still the onus is on PSG.
I think it's a very difficult team talk because for Nagelsmann, you know, if this sort of scrappy game with few chances continues, then you know they might just see PSG out. But I think the performance has been with the Parisians in the first half. They've been the better team. They've created better chances, and but for a little bit more luck, they'd have sort of equalised on aggregate. But they're not there yet, you know. I think they're two very difficult team talks. But if you're PSG, you know what you need to do. They needed to come and score a goal at the Allianz Arena. They haven't done it yet, but they've got the same task. I think they've gone about it pretty well. Well, like I said, I think it's a much more difficult team talk for the home side.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a hard task for PSG to come and win at the Allianz Arena. Last time Bayern lost a home competitive match was January the 7th, 2022. So they've gone well over a year now since they last lost at home across all competitions. They did lose a club friendly, but that was against Manchester City. That was not counted in the run, as now Bayern trying to play the ball out from the back. Just less than 30 seconds of the two added on to go, as Kiele has it now. Probably didn't expect it to be coming on in this game, not so early anyway, but Marquinhos' injury has brought him onto the field of play in this first half. That was Verratti. Verratti looking up, trying to spy a long ball, trying to run the ball out. It deflects back towards Delete though. It will go to Sommer. I'm sure when Sommer clears this, the referee will have seen enough for the first half, and he has. At the Allianz Arena, it is half-time. It's Bayern 0 at Paris Saint-Germain 0.
It's half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half-time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Leon Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma.
Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead at 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from a close range, blocked by Davis, Dilly and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by Dilly after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped shots from close range, blocked by Davis, De Ligt and Sommer as PSG got closer. Vitinha had a shot saved off the line by De Ligt after a mistake from Sommer, and Jamal Musiala had a good shot on the turn saved by Donnarumma. Half time at the Allianz Arena. It is Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. So the home lead still lead 1-0 on aggregate. Very cagey first half. Young Goretzka and Kylian Mbappe both had shots on target before we saw their first meaningful bits of play. Lionel Messi had scraped.
Right, we're back. But for PSG, unfortunately, Nordi Mukiele couldn't make it back. He was a fitness out along with Marquinhos. He replaced Marquinhos, and he in turn has been replaced. Obviously, an injury. And Bichiabi is the player who comes in, who's only 17. He's a big lad though, 6'6", so you can't hardly miss him really. I wonder which of the three positions he'll pick up. It's possible he'd be in the middle, but I don't know about that. Anyway, so that's a big change and something forced on PSG. I'm sure you know that's bad luck for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, your skipper goes off and your replacement comes on, and then your replacement goes off for the break. He mustn't have been on for more than about sort of 15 minutes, Mukiele. But yeah, like you said, Bichiabu, he's a big lad, isn't he? So he's gone out on the left-hand side of the three centre-backs, which means Danilo's now gone back over to the right with Ramos through the middle of them. I think is how it looks at the minute anyway. That's what I'm gathering from the picture and how they're forming up.
Yeah, El Shaddai Bichouabi is probably going to play for France at some point. And so far his career has taken in the representative teams, the unders, and clearly they've thrown him in here at 17 years of age. And look, he's a man-mountain just for the moment then. Fonseca is trying to wriggle around the outside of his marker, can't quite make that stick. I wonder if Julian Nagelsmann can get something going with his team. They were second best the first half really. But their goal to the good. Like I said, it's a difficult half-time team talk for him. You know, if they're too aggressive, then maybe they leave the door open. You know, but I think in trying to be solid and all that, they've just allowed PSG to get after him a bit.
Yeah, it's sort of the scenario for Bayern when they're the team ahead. It's, you know, like they don't have to press forward too much. They don't have to make anything happen really, which has worked against them a little bit in terms of, like you said, they don't feel the urgency to go and try and create lots of chances and commit too many bodies forward. They're just trying to hold PSG at bay at the moment. You mentioned a bit Chiabu, you know, the trust they've been sort of put in him. His Champions League debut coming on in the second leg at centre back as well. Yeah. It's a big moment for him.
It is. Go on, lad. You know, God shows what you can do. But well, here he is marking up. You don't have to be the best there. Eventually gets hold of the ball and back to his keeper. That's a terrible clearance. And maybe an opportunity. Here's Thomas Muller into the box. He goes. I don't know what he's thinking there. I mean, how could Choupo-Moting even bring that under control? He was flashed at him there by Muller. Don't know what he's thinking. There's Goretzka for once. Is nipped at and he goes down. The referee sees nothing wrong, Daniel Osato, and so PSG with Verratti to find Vitinha, and now a spare man in the middle. They've got an opportunity here if they can use it. Ball out to the left-hand side. Oh, and then Messi can't get the ball back to Ruiz. Needed to do better. Coman had chased back, then runs into trouble. Gets the ball out of his feet, and Stanisic, we haven't mentioned him much, gets the ball away. Again, picked off in midfield. And again, Nuno Mendes doing the jobs. Vitinha drives forward, looking for the give and go, gets the ball back from Messi. A shot in the turn from Mbappe is cleared away. Hasn't been cleared sufficiently well, but then a poor ball from Nuno Mendes on his inside. And, well, Muller trying to clear his lines. Mendes has made sure he can't. And eventually get the ball clear. But, again, lots of white shirts forward then. And, you know, on the half break, they nearly made it stick as Messi finds a ball again. They're on the attack. Right hand side, an opportunity. Hakimi's ball across his pawn, that's been dealt with. All that stemmed from when Goretzka was robbed inside the other half. He didn't get put back up quickly, did he? But I think he's there now. He looks like he's all right.
Yeah, there's a few sort of injuries. I was looking at there. Goretzka was one. Messi was another. He seemed to stop and was sort of clutching one of the hamstrings, the left hamstring, but seems to be okay now. But previous to that, when Bayern were attacking, I don't know what Thomas Muller's doing there. It opens up for him to have a shot. He's just on the edge of the box, or just in it actually, and he just thinks, I'm going to try this. I don't know what kind of pass it was. You said that Choupo-Moting, no chance he could control it. I don't know why Muller just didn't have a go.
Yeah, again, maybe, it didn't open up kindly for him anyway. Musiala makes a good break now to Choupo-Moting into the box. Oh, and there's some stellar defending. I tell you what, Danilo, take a bow. We saw some brilliant stuff in the first half, but they've given it away again. Musiala now, and a shot comes in. Choupo-Moting blocks from Kimmich, and he was offside as well. So that was an incredible passage of play. Daniel Osato is having a moment at Donnarumma. What's he giving here? What's going on? Let's take a look. What do you see?
I mean, he's offside. I don't know what's going on here really, but tell you what, that's a bad 10 seconds for Choupo-Moting, because even though there's some good strong defending from Danilo coming in there to put him off, I think Choupo-Moting should get a shot away. He should, when the ball is played into him, just swing your leg at it, swing your left foot at it, get a shot away, and I think he probably scores if he makes decent contact with it. But he waits for it to try and be perfectly in front of him, where you think, just get your leg behind it and have a shot.
It's a difficult one, that. I think if he's going to take so much time to be so precious about it, then he's got to make sure that he's blocked off Danilo. Here, ball into the box, and there's Muller. Just dabs at that one. Choupo-Moting runs away. Did he get the touch? Well, anyway, he's a great player, that Choupo-Moting. We always said that. What it was, a brilliant cross from left-hand side. Two players ghosting in there. One of them, typically, the ghost Thomas Muller. But has that been choked off? Was there an offside there? Well, the celebrations are cut short. Khan looks down. He can't bear to look. But let's take another look at this and see who was on, who was off. Touch it.
Nobody
went straight in.
But no. I think he grazed it with his head. But I think then Muller might. Muller's still onside. It's onside all the way there. That's a goal. That is a goal, and that'll be looked at.
I thought that Muller had got the touch because he was closest. Oh,
he does. Oh, Muller doesn't need to put this in. Oh, if Muller leaves it, it's in. If Muller leaves it, that's in. Well, he was offside. Stan corrected there.
Deary mate. I mean, did he touch it then, or was he just?
Well, he went off. So when they were off celebrating, Choupo-Moting was running over, jumping in the air, but Muller put his.
And I tell you what, it feathered off both. Snicker, was there a noise? Anyway, that's the. But now Choupo-Moting trying to get the run on Danilo. He gets across. Yeah. Being thrown on the pitch to the far side.
There's a cup.
There's a cup. There, isn't there?
So there's something going on, and I think they're trying to clear a bit of it off. But it all seems to be getting a bit heated. We just seem to be getting little pans of shots of the referee, just sternly looking at a few of the players.
Yeah, Daniel Osato's got loads of experience. He doesn't cover the ground too quickly, does he, nowadays? Look at him now rowing. But Anyway, he's still a good referee. As the ball hammered back to Sommer, who under a little bit of pressure there, he's able to deal with it. Ruiz is the spring in the pack for PSG. He's hardly been on the ball at all. But I notice he keeps jogging forward to support attacks. Wouldn't surprise me if he was the goal scorer today, if they do grab a goal themselves. But now it's Musiala. Look at him. He's so dynamic when he's on the ball. He just slipped it. He's passing it there. Tricky pass for the outstep of his right boot. He couldn't make it stick. But you can see he's a proper live wire. They need to get him involved a little bit more. Ball breaks though for PSG. Vitinha finds Verratti. Ball out the right side for Messi. Takes it in. Early pass to Hakimi. Crossfield ball. That's a good one for Ruiz. Just cushions it back to Mbappe. Standing start. And he's able to get the ball away to Ruiz out left hand side. And he just shows too much. And he's robbed. Good stuff from Stanisic. Just waiting for the mistake. And there it comes. And that was too easy for him. And then Choupo-Moting too strong for Ramos. But PSG win it back. And then there's a bad challenge. Seemingly it goes in. And Gaultier is out. He wants to know some answers. But the referee didn't see it. Didn't give it. And now, well, this game is fantastic, I think. Not in terms of brilliant play, but just for the drama of it.
Yeah, well, at least Bayern are now into it a bit more, aren't they? They're definitely playing better than they did in the first half. The referee, he sees it, he waggles his finger. The referee, he waggles his fingers and say, "No, that's not a free kick." It's Nuno Mendes who's still down. You wonder if he's staying down to, just he's trying to get the free kick, and then I'll have to stay down now for a bit longer.
The thing is, though, time's not on his side, so. I think he got caught there, but who's to say, Let's take another look at it. With Choupo-Moting, he does get caught there, and I think it's a bit of a scissor challenge. He's a strong guy. I think his standing leg then goes underneath, and he chops him a bit. I think it's a sneaky foul, and I don't blame the referee not seeing that. I think that's very hard in open play to spot. Particularly if you're rowing as much as Danny Osato is at the minute. Can hardly keep up with play, can he? And I don't think he'll have many years. He's still a good referee, but I think he's struggling to keep up with play, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't really think that was a free kick, which obviously the referees as officials didn't sort of give it either. It's that type of challenge is easier just not to give anything than it is to give it either way.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's not feigning the contact though, because he definitely got caught there.
I think he gets the slide comes in for Choupo-Moting, doesn't it? It doesn't actually make contact with the slide, but I think it's the trailing leg of Nuno Mendes gets caught underneath Choupo-Moting, and then he sort of falls over.
Ooh, keeper's got to come out there. Donnarumma does well. I think. Well, I tell you what, if he was injured there, then Mendes showing no signs of that's coming now. Gets round the back, puts a decent ball into the box, but there, I think Alphonso Davies was waiting around the far side. Choupo-Moting couldn't get it, and he will recycle it. And the Reds here with the Delete, who just takes his eye off the ball. Haven't been impressed with the Dutchman tonight, particularly. Stanisic now, just over the halfway line, just looking for a pass. And he finds one. Muller then looking to play it back on his inside to Coleman. Doesn't continue his run, but eventually the ball is there. Muller then with a good-looking cross, headed away by Danilo, but he's not found any kind of yardage there. Musiala picks it up, then Kimmich drops the shoulder. Flicks the ball to the far post again. It's with Muller. What can he do this time? Well, he flashes a ball across the face, but it's picked up by the new kid there. Bitshiabu has dealt with it just about. And then the ball rolled all the way back to Jan Sommer. And it goes quiet again. Bayern have picked up the pace a little bit. I think maybe Nagelsmann got into them at half-time and impressed on them that they need to go forward and grab a goal.
Yeah, they are doing it. They are pressing a bit higher at the pitch now. They're not sort of sat in as they were, just inviting maybe PSG onto them a bit. And they're going into the tackles a little bit harder. They're battling for it. They're contesting more. Verratti, Ruiz, Vitinha not having it as easy as they did in the first half, and they're getting it out to the wide people more. Coman, Musiala, those two have been able to actually have the runs at some of the PSG defenders one-on-one. Yeah,
maybe they've opted out from playing straight through the middle, but just to say that's exactly what they do. And then Goretz gets a shot. He claims a deflection, and referee agrees with him. So that's better from Bayern Munich. They're 1-0 up on aggregate, 0-0 on the night. Nothing between the two teams really. cigarette paper between them, but it's a corner kick for Bayern Munich, who thought they'd scored. And, well, they had the ball at the back of the net at one point today. A good cross from deep, flicked off there to Choupo-Moting, was going to go in. Then Muller got a touch and he was offside. Or did he? He was claiming it. I'm not sure he did.
I think if you claim it, you know you've got something on it. But like I said, if he doesn't go for it, it nestles in the corner because Donnarumma's nowhere near it.
He got a touch that wasn't necessary on a ball that was going in anyway. Well done. Corner kick now. Choupo-Moting and Thomas Muller both in the box waiting for the ball. It comes deep. Goretzka with a header, but that flies over the top, and he's crossed with himself there. But just one of those things. It seemed to come off the top of his head, and you know, I mean, he wins his battle there. Everything's right apart from the way it comes off his head.
Yeah, we just say he's just fractionally times the jump wrong. He's slightly on the way down, maybe when it's coming towards him, but it's just one of those. He's not far away from probably getting that header on target and finding the back of the net. There's not much sort of dominance in terms of area. Oh, as Bayern win it high at the pitch now, win the penalty area chance here. It's squared and into the back of the net, and Bayern have it, although the referee is waggling his finger again. Nagelsmann celebrating, but the referee, for me, this one looks like it's going to count. 1-0 on the like 2-0 on aggregate. I'm sure.
I think that would be the contention, perhaps. Anyway, they're playing out from the back, and then he finds Choupo-Moting. First, Goretzka's ball is to Choupo-Moting. Was he onside? He's playing him on. So, you know, Goretzka's had a great game. Presence of mind, and just to roll it to Choupo-Moting, who's clearly on
in numbers, and they were nicking the ball away from Bayern when they were doing that to PSG.
Yeah, and they're still firing forward. They're 2-0 up on.
At the minute, it looks very unlikely. However, the World Cup final is very unlikely that France were going to come back into it. So
here's Mbappe into the box, but they've been well dealt with there. We've hardly mentioned Upamecano, but twice he staged pretty good interventions. But anyway, their outplay there wasn't so great, but his blocking run on Mbappe was good. Yeah, extra time. What about that then? We'd never mentioned the first half because that's bad form. Nobody wants to do the extra 30. Sometimes though, you know, the odd World Cup final, something like that, you don't mind, do you? But in this instance, I think, anyways, the ball comes in from the corner and punched away. I think not. Do you know what? I think that Bayern Munich have weathered the storm. Choupo-Moting just falls over the ball there. It's like a sniper in the stand got him there. Anyway, we'll just break off because Fabian Ruiz now has the ball to Mbappe. What's he got? Twinkle toes to the byline. Cutback looks pretty good over everybody's head then, and Hakimi can't quite bring it in. Finds Verratti back to Hakimi, and a cross comes in. Blocked away off Davies. That will be a corner kick. You know what? Bayern Munich have been a better team the second half. I'm not sure if they necessarily deserved a goal, but they'd had the ball at the back of that. They were unlucky with that. Then they scored. I think, yeah, they've been the better team this second half.
Yeah, no, agree. They've stepped it up. They've kept Messi and Mbappe quiet. That's what they've done. Mbappe's barely had a touch in the second half, and Messi again has not been able to have as big an influence in the second like he was having in the first.
So Messi with the corner kick, then the ball comes steepling in. There's a header. What a save! Wowie, Ramos thinks he's done what he's done a billion times before, headed his team back into contest. But what a save from Sommer, diving to his left, claws that ball out.
That's superb. I mean, 6 yards out the header from Ramos. He's going back across the goalkeeper. He's got good power behind it. That's a superb reaction save. Just sticks out the left hand. Really good strength behind the hand as well to make sure that doesn't just flop into the back of the net.
Superb save that. Just when they needed it. They don't want to invite PSG back into this game. There's a ball then to Vitinha. Oh, and his first touch absolutely killed that move stone dead, didn't it? Ball rolled up in the air off his boot, and we all got to wait for him to bring it down, and now he's chasing back. And all of a sudden the ball is back with goalkeeper Donnarumma. He didn't want it, but he finds Bishwabi, who gets a bit of pace on it now. Mendes, and then to the number 8, Fabian Ruiz. I wonder now if this is the point where Bayern Munich just say, oh, we might just sit back on it a little bit, try and make ourselves difficult to break down. They've all drifted back into their own half. There's still a long way to go. It's funny, 2-0 on aggregate. It's still one of those funny scorelines where PSG get one back and all of a sudden it's a big momentum shift. So it's still slightly dangerous time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, fully agree. It's important for Bayern that they keep their concentration and focus. They know the game's not over yet. They know the quality that Paris Saint-Germain have got on their side. Mbappe's been kept quiet for most of the night, but he can suddenly, after the flick of a switch, he'll be right on it and he can score a goal. I would say that Bayern, obviously, the strength of the bench, they can bring on someone like a Sadio Mane to go up there and just knock the ball up long to him. He'll run after it. Also, not impressed with the pitch in this game. It's cut up quite a bit in certain areas. You can see huge chunks of turf when you get the camera angle right along the surface of the pitch.
Yeah, I think it's always a big problem for those teams who've got the massive stadium. 77,000 people fit into the Allianz, and it's steep banked on either side. So you don't get much sun in, do you? You don't get much dry and breeze through. So for the grass to properly knit on a surface like that, it's very difficult. They keep relaying pitches, don't they? And they come up in clumps. And you can see that with this pitch. Before they set a foot in it, it looked a picture, didn't it? As soon as you start playing it, it just comes up big clumps anyway. Here are PSG on the ball, roll to the edge of the area. Mbappe looking for a sharp ball into Ruiz. Not being cleared away. Mbappe now on the half turn. He gets a shot away. That is a miracle shot. Nobody else is going to get that shot away, and he still managed to get a shot on target. In the end, it's a relatively easy save for some, but it's still magic from Mbappe.
Yeah, it's just the confidence in him to bring it down in the box, but again, just flick the ball out of his feet ahead of him slightly to the side, but just the knowledge that he's going to be able to get there before an opposing defender, an opposition player. He knows that he's got the pace, the acceleration, just didn't quite catch the shot. He's trying to go across the keeper for me, but he just doesn't quite get the execution perfectly, and it's an easy save in the end for Sommer.
Yeah, he's just one of these fellas. He's got more tickets to the raffle, hasn't he? He just does things that nobody else can do. We're going to see Sané come on now for Choupo-Moting as, retreat. Thomas Muller can go up top anyway, so, they're bringing something else to the party, and it's not like Sané's a bad player, is it?
I didn't even mention him. I didn't even see his name on the bench there. Not a bad player.
No, exactly. They've got strength, and you mentioned that. But the number 10 comes on, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to remind us all what a cracking player he is. I always thought it was a little bit funny that Man City were prepared to let him go as a relative youngster. There was always slight question marks about his attitude, I think. Anyway, here's Mendes on the ball. We're halfway through this competition. In fact, 3/4 of the way through, aren't we? And Bayern at 2-0 sat pretty. And if PSG are going to get back into it, it's all going to be explained to you by James Mason.
Yeah, thank you very much. As they do have themselves a corner from the left-hand side. 6 goals Leroy Sané's got this season. That's in the Bundesliga. As this corner is an out-swinging delivery, headed away. Good strong header away, but PSG have it on the edge of the box. As the shot comes in, it's blocked away, and now Bayern counter-attacking in numbers here, and it's a 2-on-1 situation now as it's played down this left-hand side. Maybe an opportunity. Sané has possession, edge of the area, tries to go back towards Coman. Oh, and it's a lovely toe poke interception by Mendes, but the initial ball from Coman, when it's 2-on-1, he plays that too early.
I think that, when you're running two like that, they've actually allowed themselves to be marked by one man. That's because they haven't split sufficiently. They haven't made a good enough angle. Don't run narrow on him. You're not giving him much of a ball. I just thought the run wasn't good there. The ball's passed at the wrong time, and then eventually it just allows somebody with pace like Mendes to get in. But it's still a good intervention from him, and it's a corner kick for Bayern Munich. So I think they'll take that, but it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, right-footed outswinging delivery from this corner is allowed to bounce now. Far post with Goretzka. He goes for a shot on the half volley. That one's been a stooping header away by Danilo, but Bayern will have it back. It's with Davies out towards the left-hand side, and well, the Bavarians, they're looking for what would really be a killer second goal of the night. Third goal, they'll be up on aggregate, and yeah, it'll be a long way back for PSG then. Not that it isn't already, as they need to score 2 goals without reply if they want to force overtime, as the Americans say, but extra time if you want to go with the UK language. Is back on the halfway line now, as Upamecano has it. Do wonder whether Nagelsmann, how regularly he'll make change, how early he might think to shut things up. I mean, yes, Choupo-Moting's off, but Sané's on, so they've still got outlets up there. But when does he take either a Musiala, Müller or Coman off and bring on someone more defensively minded?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we were thinking, well, here it starts, he's going to start defending, but really, if you've got Thomas Müller playing, you brought on a forward for a forward, and you think, well, it doesn't send out a message, let's defend, does it? So, I think that's the right thing to do as well. Don't think you break your system. If all of a sudden you bring a defender on and for a striker, you're saying, well, lads, let's settle back. But that way madness lies as Kingsley Coman makes some ground. Ball into the box, not quite good enough, and that's been dealt with. So I think that's probably right. You might want to defend with, sort of less than 10 minutes to go, that kind of thing. But at this point, I think they just keep going and look to add a third,
Yeah, what I would say is PSG, they're not out of ideas, but with the fact of Mbappe and Messi do very little or to no tracking back or defensive work, when Bayern have possession, it's Bayern, their 10 outfield players are pretty much going up against 8 PSG outfield players, and because that's all there is of the PSG players that are trying to win the ball back. PSG have got Mbappe and Messi, who are they're just waltzing around the halfway line, just sort of hoping one of their teammates gets the ball back and then they spring into life. But it's not as if it's all hands to the deck to try and win the ball back. It's 8 outfield players for them.
Well, I think if it's a numbers game, then just looking at the two squads, one of them's got about 30 players, one has got 40, and he's buying with 40, and they've got really good players, and it's solid all the way through. Now we know with PSG, it's like, well, front three, and then we'll see what we can get elsewhere. And that, with all due respect to players like Marquinhos and what have you, they've got good players, but it's all stacked one way as they break off again. Hakimi now with the ball into the box, blocked away by Davies. So they haven't got as much strength in depth, and I think Bayern look the stronger, can make the stronger change off the bench, and we're seeing all that. But that's not, you still can't rule PSG out.
No, I wouldn't. And I suppose it only takes one moment. That corner we saw a few minutes ago when Ramos was denied by a brilliant save by Sommer. 1 goal back for PSG, and it will make for a nervy finish as Nuno Mendes has it now. He then tries to swing one into the box. That's a shocker. That's the swinger, I would say, there from Nuno Mendes. Don't really know who he's aiming for there, what type of delivery. He's trying to float that one in, which he does, but float to who? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, my other thought about it is that PSG is like a how not to of building a big football club just by throwing money at it. The players all think they're God's gift to football, don't they? And even though there's bags of talent there, I just think that doesn't necessarily blend together. Mbappe was his comments ahead of this game were weird. Like, with all due respect to PSG, but I could go and elsewhere and win a Champions League with somebody. It's possible that might be true, but that's not really what you or your club want to hear. He's got prodigious talent, and we can laud him all we like, but it's a team game, and you're all in it together. We just saw him just puffing his cheeks out there as if, my teammates aren't doing it. Yeah, but you're part of that, and you've got to do something about it. Not frown, not throw your hands up in the air, but get involved. Everyone gets frustrated in that, but Just signs there that really bother me, and about them as a team. I just don't. It doesn't seem that cohesive to me.
No, there's certainly sort of areas you think about the side where, is that going to be good enough to win a Champions League, and it looks as if they're going to miss out for another season, and you wonder if they're able to keep hold of their fantastic front trio. Is Bayern coming forward now, an opportunity, long ball forward now, it's Sane into the penalty area, tries to drag it onto his left foot, then he slips and he still somehow gets a shot away when he's on the floor, swipes at it with his left leg, but it goes wide of that near post. But I mean, the opportunities are going to come for Bayern like that, and PSG pushing bodies forward, long ball upfield, and you'll have runners.
Yeah, I mean, he cut so sharply there that he does himself. Weirdly, Ramos kept his feet and all that, didn't he? He's seen it before. We are going to see a change for PSG, who are bringing on their number 33, who is Warren Zaire-Emery, another one from their, they call them the elite group. And the lads out the academy, really, who are invited to, the crossover play, but young usually. And this kid, he's 17, but again, he's another one who played against Nantes in that 4-2 victory the weekend. So, they blooded him. He's had a few games now, but he's 17, midfielder.
Yeah, and again, it maybe shows to what I said about the strength and the benches, Bayern and PSG. I looked at Bayern's and I felt more comfortable at bringing players on that could make a difference. Not saying that Emery won't, but at 17, being thrown on instead of Fabian Ruiz, it'll be hard for him. But Bayern are coming forward now. Maybe an opportunity as there's a challenge that comes in right just inside the box, with the referee saying that Bichiabu then got the ball. Well, it was a touch and go one there. It was Leroy Sané who was driving into the box, but the referee deemed that the foot of Bichiabu then managed to take it away from the former Man City man. Let's see again. Comes across. Yeah, I tell you what, that's a great challenge, but it's poor from Leroy Sané because he just wants too much time on the ball.
Yeah. I think when you think you go side of somebody, I mean, you've got to give credit there, because what's happened to him is he's just become aware that he's met a player who's going to be a massive player on the world stage. This kid, right, he's 6'6". He's built like a brick outhouse. I mean, he's 17, but he's bigger than most of the fellas out there. And clearly he's got a lot of extension and a lot of pace right now. Most of the time you think, right, I'm goal side of him. There's no way that he can get back at me. There's no way he can get the ball from where he is. And he sticks out this long, elongated leg, and you think, right, I've learnt that about playing him. I can't take that for granted. The next time I get a shot away. So it's a learning curve, isn't it? But, he looks like a real prospect.
He's just, like you said, he's just huge. He's an absolute unit as a Bichiabu. But PSG coming forward down the right now after Messi was fouled, trying to wriggle his way forward.
I don't know what it is, Jen, but I think it's a high-protein diet nowadays. But kids seem to be a lot bigger, don't they? This season, at the start of the season, there was a kid playing Marseille fullback, 6'9".
6'9". I mean, I've never been that kind of physique in my life, really. I'm more of a long-distance runner physique.
Yeah. I don't know what I would be. I think maybe 800 metres. If only I could run that far ever. Anyway, Vitinha probably fouled his man there. Brought Kimmich down, and that's a free kick.
Just feels like at the minute that it is slipping away very quickly for PSG. They've got less than 12 minutes of normal time to go, plus any stoppages to try and get 2 goals without reply to force an extra 30 here, as Bayern now are coming forward. And they're in behind. There's an opportunity. Coman into the penalty area. He plays the ball looking for Sane, but he can't bring it down. Just enough pressure there from Danilo. But again, Kingsley Coman, that's a couple of times I think he's chosen the wrong option. I think he should drive into the box there.
Yeah, there's nobody with him. Do you know what? He miscontrols that, though. Sane further than I could kick it. I mean, it comes off his knee. It's not an easy ball to bring in. Yeah, if you're Kingsley Coman there, you think, well, why can't I take the ball into the box? Because then you're making the defender who is marking Sane have 2 thoughts. One is, should I try and get across and block him off? Then it makes it easy to cut back to Sane. But again, Sane's run is one of those where you know exactly where he's going. There's no guile to it. and he's running at full pace. How is he ever going to control that ball? He hasn't got the instincts of a striker, is what I'm saying. But like you said, Coleman's ball was poor.
Yeah, maybe the instincts of a striker will be coming on, because Sadio Mane is close to being brought on. Saw him stripped off. He's on the sidelines when the ball next goes out of play, or there is a stoppage in play. Nagelsmann furious at Bayern as losing the ball when they were trying to create something over halfway. But there's huge gaps at Bayern to try and expose now, as PSG are pushing forward a little bit more, in desperate need of 2 goals if they're going to keep themselves in this year's Champions League, as it is now with Zaire Emery, one of the recent subs. Now back towards Danilo, over halfway he comes. He finds Mbappe, who's dropped so deep now. Maybe that's frustration starting to show from the Frenchman, because he's trying to get involved in the play somehow. He's not getting the service, so he's just...
Look at Messi, how deep he is.
Yeah, I mean, Messi, that's not too unheard of, is it? He
No.
tends to go that far, but it is for Mbappe, I think, to drop that far behind and trying to get involved in play. But PSG, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, because no one in that midfield, Verratti, Vitinho, Zaire Emery, is being the playmaker for them. So it's give it to Mbappe or Messi and see what can happen. Mbappe's trying that, and he'll win inside a corner.
There's nothing wrong with your best player going to fetch the ball and get involved. Sometimes it strikes you as sort of aggrandizement. I'm the team and I'm going to do this. But sometimes you've got to do that. You've got to get on the ball, show his pace there, and his one side of corner kick. We're going to see a couple more changes, and Sadio Mane is one of those.
Is indeed. It's a PSG one I'm going to see first. I was wondering if the PSG one, because I saw 44 come up, and I thought, no way is that going to be
Hugo Akiki.
But Ekitike coming on. He was Frenchman that was close to moving to Newcastle United. It never materialised. It's Vitinho, I think that was the one that went off the field of play there. Looks like it was a double sub for PSG, but we'll put confirmation of them soon. As for Bayern, it will be Jamal Musiala that's going off, and the former Liverpool Sadio Mane is on to replace him. We didn't quite get the second change there. It didn't come up on our screen, so we'll confirm that.
Yeah, it's like for like Mane for Musiala. So I like that, because he's not changing his system, is he? Etiquette coming on. He's providing a target, and here they go. Corner kick PSG.
Yeah, towards the far post. Oh, it's Ramos again, and it sort of skims off the left part of his forehead, and it goes wide of the left post. It was close there. He rose highest. He was beating Muller in the air all day long there, but couldn't get it on target. And that's a half chance gone there, maybe more than a half chance, a 3/4 one potentially. Wasn't quite a clear cut, but Ramos will feel he probably should have at least hit the target there. There's Juan Bernat on for Nuno Mendes. That was the other one for PSG that has just been confirmed now. Yeah, Nuno Mendes has done well, but I suppose just fresh legs down that side, isn't it?
Yeah, again, that's like for like, isn't it? We've seen Juan Bernat before. He's a good player, and have been a good left back for Valencia, Bayern Munich, of course, as well, and then PSG. So that's quite some CV he's got, as well as a full Spanish international, albeit that I think he may have retired now.
PSG working a throw down the right hand side. They managed to get it in field. There's a couple players are charging Danilo there, but he did well. Now across towards Zaire Emery. Now to this near side where it is with Bernat. At the minute, Bayern are just putting enough press on that they are happy down by Bernat in the end, but he's faced up against Stanisic, who, I have to say, the first real proper sight I've got of Stanisic in this match, and he's done a good job down that right hand side, and he's had some pacey, creative players against him, but yeah, to be fair, I was quite surprised to see him in the team sheet starting.
Yeah, clearly he's got a bit of pace about him. One thing, he's shown no desire to get forward. Found him early doors, didn't he? Got out, making life difficult. Also, he stood close enough to Mbappe at times that that doesn't mean to say he's a great player. It's just he's shown discipline today, and clearly he's strong, physical, and pretty quick.
Watching the ankles of Emery. I have to say, game's still not over. Just over 5 minutes for stoppage time to go. But my player of the match already I'm picking out is Leon Goretzka.
He's a standout. I mean, Kimmich not really today. We've not seen Upamecano. Delete looked a bit laboured, hasn't he? As Emery, great ball into the box, and when he's done it, Delete clear one off the line, didn't he? But I bet will break off here. Come PSG.
Yeah, they're trying to get in. It's just a wall of red shirts at the moment there, and just in the nick of time, they're taking it on a Messi. They probably get it out of the feet, and they have a shot, and they may test the keeper. But Hakimi just wanted one more touch than he probably was allowed anyway. And again for PSG, this
it looks like it, yeah. Again, you can see a double change now. Kingsley Coman going off. I know Gnabry's coming on. Another brilliant player to go. Again, Kingsley Coman's another one. I don't think he's necessarily had a good night, but he's done. I mean, and also by a million miles, Leon Goretzka as well, because it's been a solid performance. But he had an eye as well on PSG going forward, and particularly putting some great challenges on Lionel Messi tonight. Really strong, reducing good, strong, honest challenges. And yeah, he's had a good game.
Yeah, João Cancelo then on for Thomas Muller. So a defensive-minded one to say. Skipper's armband goes to Joshua Kimmich then. So yeah, it looks as if that changes. Bayern just sort of shutting up shop ever so slightly. Just another body. Cancelo can play in the sort of the holding midfield role if he wants to, or the five at the back. It's
a joke, that, isn't it? You can throw him on at this point. I mean, for me, I thought at one point he was the best right back in Europe, and I don't really understand what's happened with him at City, why they decided to let him go. I think they messed about with him a bit, playing him left back and all that, and he still did that pretty well. But it'd be good to see him getting back to his usual slot, where, like I said, I don't think there's many better than him.
No, he's good at. To be fair, I think Guardiola's done a savvy bit of business, because if Bayern make it permanent at the end of the season, it's about 55-60 million. I think that's pretty good, with the fact that obviously Guardiola's got so much faith in the youngster coming through then that they've had playing at City. Is PSG trying to come forward down this left-hand side with Zaire Emery. Does well into the box. He goes, tries to lay back from Mbappe. Oh, what a sliding challenge that is. Alphonso Davies has stopped Mbappe from finding the back of the net there. Brilliant run by Zaire Emery. Lovely ball in, but the defender was a match for Mbappe. But PSG still trying to come forward as they try to set up a grandstand finish. Ball in from the right, header away by Delete. That's a good strong header by the Dutchman, as Danilo has it once again. But Alphonso Davies, he stopped for me a certain goal there.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go in. A lovely break from the number 33, this young kid. He's not phased by it, is he? Put a great ball across, and you're just waiting for the net to bulge and it to be an exciting couple of minutes, but he didn't. And I think you're right, just Alphonso Davies just tickling a toe in there and unsettling Mbappe enough that it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, Zaire Emery then manages to pick up a loose ball before it goes out of play for a throw on this near side. Now he puts a ball in right-footed, looking for Ramos, who seems to have just gone up there now as a number 9, as a striker, then has Ramos, but they've got to push all the bodies up now, PSG.
Yeah, two strikers, aren't they? Ramos and Ekitike up there as the ball's won a high up the field by Verratti. One last chance. The ball's got to go in soon for PSG, or they're going to be done and dusted. Verratti rolls claiming he's been picked off there, but no, Cancelo now bombs forward. Here can Bayern Munich looking to make it 3-0.
Yeah, lovely ball into the penalty area, and the left-footed shot comes in, and there it is, and it is 3-0, and it's Serge Gnabry then, the former Arsenal man, who has put the icing on top of the cake, not the cherry, just the icing this evening for Bayern. That's 2-0 up on the evening, 3-0 on aggregate. They're going through into the next round of the competition. Incisive breakaway, brilliant running from Cancelo, lovely through ball, diagonal through ball into the path of Gnabry, who takes a touch into the box and then just sort of left-footed scoops it over the keeper.
I tell you what, when you're on the lead anyway, and then to put players on like Gnabry, who just fleet-footed and dynamic like that, they look at the offside for that, don't they? It was tight, really tidy left foot finish. When you bring all these pace matches on at the end, it's so difficult. It's the first time in Europe that I've seen a team, I think, strength and depth and everything they've got, that I think I'm looking at the potential Champions League winners. It's genuinely the first time. I could pick holes in virtually everybody, but strength and depth that they've got.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at the bench, you thought, well, he could start. It was if you could make a case for a lot of them starting.
And you can make a number of different gigs up, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 minutes of added time, which we're into now. That goal was checked by VAR, and Gnabry was onside. But I have to say, that's two of the goal. But sorry, both goals this evening have been Marco Verratti just challenged inside his own area, and the second one there, he was challenged by Kimmich. Great challenge, but he went down clutching the ankle, rolling around. There are two challenges where Verratti has been done. He's not being physical.
I think the thing is, as well, we said he's knocking on a bit, Daniel Osato, but he's nobody's fool. It's a great save that by Donnarumma. That ball hit really hard there. Could easily have been 3-0, couldn't it? And that would have been the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. But in the end, it's a good save. Alphonso Davies here, again, another strong performance. I think there'd be lots of referees who would have given Verratti's rolling around as a free kick, at the other end. But instead, he roll around all he likes. But Daniel Osato wasn't buying it, and I think that. And you mentioned it straight away. It's not a free kick, and that was the right decision.
Yep, no, fully agree. Bayern have certainly stepped up in the second half and showing, they are real contenders to win the Champions League. This is what we expected, what I expected from them in the start of the game in the first half. You could say that PSG, if that shot from Vitinha gone in, that was good off the line, it could have been such a different feel to the game, but that chance wasn't taken, and Bayern managed to take theirs. Now there's an opportunity. Through ball looking for Sadio Mane, but slightly overhit. And Donnarumma is quick off his line as PSG try and play the ball out from the back. But 2.5 of the 5 minutes added on to go again. Mentioned Ramos was up front before as a striker. I don't know why they didn't put Bichiabu up there as the 6 foot, what did you say, 6'5" or something? 6'6".
Yeah.
Why he wasn't up there, I don't know.
They've only got so many defenders. I mean, Ramos has scored loads of goals, hasn't he, when you think about it in the past. An incredible amount, really, for a centre-back, but just not being his night tonight. I think he's played all right, but here come PSG, maybe one last hurrah.
It was Ekitike that was driving forward. A sort of deflected pass went towards Messi, hit off a Bayern player, looped up and straight into the arms of Jan Sommer. As Bayern now out towards right hand side. Spurs still going out at the moment as well, are they? Is it still 0-0 in that game?
Yeah, they're down to 10 men as well, Tottenham, so that's not helping their cause, is it? As Romero has got a second yellow card. And
that's no surprise.
Yeah, we could have predicted that, couldn't we, if we'd have said, who do you think?
Oh, Bayern coming forward again, though. Maybe an opportunity. Mane into the penalty area, right-footed shot and into the far corner. And Sadio Mane then, he scores his first and it's coming on as a sub. Bayern have got their third. No, they have not. There's the offside flag has just gone up. So close. We'll see again. Oh, he's just strayed ever so slightly. But it is a knife through hot butter at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it was a cracking finish that, but like you said, he just stole half a yard, which he probably didn't need.
Or a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, it was something like that. A hot butter through
a knife through hot butter is quite easy to go through, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, it was a nice finish, wasn't it? But again, it didn't matter. And of course, they've had a couple ruled out tonight, VAR, haven't they? So second half, it took them a while to go, and I think it's a difficult mindset. Weird, isn't it? You're 1-0 up from the first leg, you don't quite know what you're doing. As Goretzka's chopped down. Is that Mbappe's gone in the book there?
It's Hakimi, number 2. Hakimi's just gone in. First yellow card of the game. It's taken till in the last minute of stoppage time.
They've just shown us how Gnabry was onside. I mean, it was touch and go really, but he just about kept on, and that's an art all by itself, isn't it? Just staying on to the right side of it.
Looks so much better, that VAR explanation though in the diagram, than the ridiculous lines that we have in the Premier League, but that's for another evening, and that is it for the evening as well, because the referee has seen enough. And PSG, well, it is another season that they won't be winning the Champions League. They've been knocked out on the night. It's finished Bayern 2, PSG 0. The Bavarians going through into the next round, winning 3-0 on aggregate.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're